Welcome to Lakeview, a massive neighborhood bordering Mississauga and Etobicoke. If you found this video, chances are you're wondering if this is the right community for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map overview of Lakeview and see if it's a good fit. As you can see, Lakeview is a massive community, starting off at Lake Ontario all the way past the QEW up to Queensway and bordering Mississauga and Etobicoke on the east side here. When you think of Lakeview, there's a few things that come to people's mind generally. Biggest one being Dixie Outlet Mall. A lot of drama around this as they're trying to take it out and develop it. Last I heard, they're going to take out like half of the parking lot, turn that into condos. That's been ongoing for a very long time, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. If you love golf, Lakeview Golf and Toronto Golf Club are here as well. You can see that takes up a big chunk of area, so definitely some courses to check out. You've also got Cawthra Park, another massive park. Cawthra Secondary School, one of the top rated. Adamson Estate attracts a lot of people. It's just a beautiful park, beautiful estate to check out. The downside to Lakeview, which I'm sure you may hear a lot about once you start researching a bit more, would be the wastewater treatment plant. Can get a little stinky on a windy day. Not too much of a concern, but it's obviously what people are going to come up with. And here in this empty chunk of land is where they are building the Lakeview Village, a massive development that they're undertaking that I think will just be phenomenal when it's done. They're doing a lot of new technologies and interesting things to make it a more sustainable community, which I think is amazing. So really looking forward to that. Of course, with more people, it's going to cause more congestion. And as we know, Lakeshore can get quite busy, especially in this area, as a lot of people go to and from Etobicoke and Toronto, taking Lakeshore. Generally, when there's something going wrong on the QEW, construction, or an accident, taking these little side streets to kind of wiggle your way through the communities can, you might as well just sit in traffic some days at that point, because they're not a complete grid. There's lots of twists and turns and dead ends and that kind of thing. So Lakeview, you will find smaller properties, smaller lots. When Lakeview was originally created, it was they were just little two-bedroom bungalows. Now they're being demolished and rebuilt, but it's still a lot of generations in these older homes, a lot of homes that I don't want to say are falling apart, but are falling apart. So there's still quite a bit of that in the neighborhood. And more so in Lakeview, when you dive deeper into it, especially along the train tracks, you're going to find more commercial businesses, things like auto shops and that kind of thing. So there is a more mix of commercial and shops in with the residential, which really doesn't attract as many people, of course, because who wants to live beside an auto shop? Of course, prices will be reflective of that, which is why I think it's a little slower to be built up than, say, Port Credit, that is demolishing as much as they can to build these multi-million-dollar semi-detached on the lot. And just some interesting things going on in the neighborhood as well that really shows its old school charm. There's no sidewalks. You've got thin, narrow laneways that you have to maneuver to get into the parking lot and that sort of thing. Anyways, it is what it is. I know people who are there and love it. And just like the rest of Lakeshore Road, you've got all the businesses along the street here. These are some newer townhomes they've added in over the years. You've got some nice condos. You've got McDonald's and a Shoppers Drug Mart as well, paint shop, hair and nails, pizza. I mean, pretty much everything you need is along Lakeshore. Keep in mind, it can get busy, so street parking really isn't much of a thing. And like I mentioned, Lakeview has a lot more commercial mixed with residential. So you can see here a lot of the businesses, manufacturing. There's a Tim Hortons tucked away in here. If you're into beer, you've got Stone Hooker Brewery as well, which is a hot spot. Live music, you can see it on the screen here. Yeah, they've got the outdoor seating there as well. Karaoke nights. So not only is it a storefront and the manufacturer as well, they do have a lot of activities and fun times going on there if you're into that. So, and it's just kind of tucked away here on the southeast end, away from most of the residential areas. So it's sort of perfect. Downside, like I mentioned, being close to the wastewater treatment plant, which could get a little smelly, but Lake Ontario is kind of smelly on its own anyways. So there's that. And yeah, then just right across the border, you've got Etobicoke. Lots going on in the South Mississauga neighborhoods. There's Lakeview on the south end in a nutshell. On the north end, you're going to find more of the same. Businesses here off North Service Side Road, as well as your homes close to the highway. You've got the electrical transmission station here. If you're worried about electricity in your backyard, something you want to avoid would be this area on the north end. Some people tend to forget that's part of Lakeview. South Mississauga is generally considered just south of QEW. Lakeview is the exception where it actually goes above into Applewood Acres and that sort of stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Hope that wasn't too much of a confusing bit about Lakeview. If you do have any questions, leave a comment below. If you're not sure which community is right for you, would love to have that conversation to see what you're looking for, what's most important, and of course, number one is what the budget is that you're looking for. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.